labor capital or natural resources that dictate a country's competitive edge. It is knowledge. Educated people get jobs, or at least they have a far better chance of doing so. An educated workforce will attract investment that creates jobs and national wealth. Towards this end, the SBMA board has actually approved a new incentive for educational institutions within the zone. We will be offering free lease to all educational institutions beginning this summer to all institutions that operate within the zone. We are now in the process of coming up with guidelines to do this. But what we ask in exchange from our education institutions is that they grant scholarships to the Scholarship Foundation that the chairman has founded. The Scholarship Foundation will grant these scholarships not to SBMA employees alone, but to deserving students in the community. So we hope that by extending this new incentive to education institutions, we're able to attract more world-class educational companies that will come within the Freeport zone. Already, we are welcoming an international school for ecotourism headed by former Secretary Mina Gabor in the former SUBA auditorium. We want to complement the growth of high-value-added and service industries within the zone by having a multi-varsity university environment and having them being able to offer world-class education to the people here. The fourth strategic imperative is to push SBMA revenues to 3 billion pesos per annum by 2013. I mentioned earlier the task of us being able to invest in the growth of the Freeport zone. The SBMA's current revenue generation is sufficient to cover its operating requirements, but not zone expansion. When you talk about zone expansion, we need to build new roads, we need to build new public facilities, schools, community facilities, and so forth. And we need a minimum of 2 billion pesos in income annually for us to sustain our current operations due to higher debt servicing and capex requirements. So the SBMA is currently looking for alternative sources of revenue. But I would like to assure our locators that this additional revenue will not come at the burden of our locators. We will try to find ways by which to be able to generate the extra 1.4 billion pesos needed for us to sustain a capital expenditure program of 600 million pesos per annum.